Joe Biden needs to appeal to blue-collar workers to win the White House. For a long time, pretending to be a good old boy from Scranton was his specialty. Watch.
Hope you won't hold it against me, but I am a hard coal miner. Anthracite coal, Scranton, Pennsylvania. Okay, that's where I was born and raised. And it's nice to be back in coal country.
But I guess it all depends on his audience. Now, old coal miner Joe Biden wants to get rid of fossil fuels.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels. These guys are okay. They want to do the same thing I want to do. They want to phase out fossil fuels, and we're going to phase out fossil fuels.
So as you might expect, the people he was pandering to in 2008 are horrified. Pennsylvanian Jim Snell, who works for a local steamfitters union, told the Washington Examiner this. He said, "I am completely shocked and stunned about the language coming from Joe Biden, allegedly a union guy. The Democratic Party has kicked the building trades to the curb, and they're all in with the environment groups." A registered Democrat named Jim Cassidy, who works for an insulators union in Pennsylvania, expressed similar sentiments, saying Joe Biden is really one of us. I always loved the man. Or is Joe Biden really one of us? I always loved the man. He scares me now. He's embracing the Green New Deal, or whatever they are calling it. He needs to get some stuff straight. Justin Haskins is executive editor at the Heartland Institute. He joins us. Justin, former Vice President Joe Biden rolled out his climate change agenda this week with the help of AOC and Bernie Sanders. How would that impact many of these blue-collar workers like the ones we just heard from?
Yeah, well, they would be absolutely decimated by this plan. Effectively, the key part of the plan, there's all sorts of crap that's been stuffed into it, but the key part of the plan is transitioning the entire electric grid, making it carbon dioxide free, supposedly, by 2035. That means building billions, not millions, but billions of solar panels and wind turbines all over the country, which would be absolutely terrible for the environment, by the way. It would require consuming massive millions of acres of land, killing millions of animals. But then on top of that, it would dramatically increase the cost of energy for the entire country. Isaac Orr at the Center of the American Experiment did a great article about this recently, where he showed that if you take the increase in electricity costs for the whole country that would occur under Joe Biden's plan, it would be at least $1 trillion more per year. And depending on how much of the mix of wind and solar is in that mix, you would have it be even higher than that. It could be several $1 trillion every single year in additional cost. That means millions and millions of jobs shipped overseas. It would absolutely decimate the Midwest and places like Pennsylvania. This is a total disaster and a complete betrayal by Joe Biden.
Well, so about that, so we heard his comment back in February where he was talking about getting rid of fossil fuels. If you remember to 2016, Hillary Clinton said that she was going to put coal miners out of work. Do you think this comment will have the same impact?
I mean, I hope
people states like Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Right. I hope people are listening, because the reality is that the Joe Biden that these people think they know is gone. That guy left the building, okay? Joe Biden can barely put two sentences together, never mind a whole climate change plan, without all sorts of help from these far left-wing people that he's brought into his campaign. People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, people from the Socialist Sunrise Movement who were involved in the Green New Deal, people like all sorts of incredibly radical people, like Stephanie Kelton, who doesn't even believe in debts or deficits, that she doesn't think they actually matter at all. She thinks you can print as much money as you need. These are the people who are now advising Joe Biden. These are Bernie Sanders. That's his influence on the campaign.
But so
normally, go ahead.
Yeah, Justin, I want to get into that, because typically what you see from candidates, we both know, what you typically see is during the primary, you have candidates move further to the left, further to the right, and then they moderate in a general election. But Biden seems to be doing the opposite, particularly on the climate change issues. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. I think it's because he's desperately afraid of losing this election because the far left rejects him. I don't think he's trying to win over people in the middle. It's a really strange election strategy, but I think that's the only way to explain this. I think what he's trying to do is keep the far left-wing progressive and socialist base of his party, the AOCs of the world, the Bernie Sanders of the world, happy, because he's worried that those people are going to walk out on him on the at the last minute and then ruin his chances of winning on that side of things. And so he's trying to do everything he can to appeal to those people, and those people are incredibly radical. So a vote for Joe Biden is really not a vote for Joe Biden from 20 years ago or 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. It's a vote for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders and people like that.
Well, and the big question is, how does this impact him in the Rust Belt, right? I mean, the Rust Belt was key to President Trump's victory in 2016. Is going to be key to anyone winning in 2020 as well.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to who do you trust, right? Who do you trust? And in this particular case, this man has been making promises for years and years and years, and now he has completely betrayed those promises, moved in the polar opposite direction, sold his soul to the far left wing of the Democratic Party, to the socialist wing, and especially the eco-socialist wing of the Democratic Party. And so, yeah, do you trust Joe Biden? That's a question that voters are going to have to ask. And if you look at his record, I think that there are reasons to be concerned.
Justin, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.